Really excited about that. Like I said, Smix and Seltzer Please will be up there. Fantastic hosts. And that's when the anxiety and stuff really steps it up. But first, we're going to do this intro. Otherwise, production will have a conniption. So please, Moonglade, tell us who these players are.
Well, in the bottom left, as the red Zerg, it is E.G. Jaedong. Hoping to win this match and get that 100% ticket to BlizzCon.
And his opponent in the top right-hand side, wearing the blue trunks, it is Mr. Solar.
The drop bear.
The drop bear.
The drop bear against the platypus. And a very rare, interesting sort of encounter we have here today.
Yeah.
Yeah, something we don't normally see in the habitat of Australia.
Drop bears. Yeah, you're right. Australia. I like that. Now, Solar is doing a 15 hatch. Yes, he is. Against a 10 pool. Moonglade, please.
Well then.
Tell me who's severely advantaged here, I believe.
I believe E.G. Jaedong has indeed taken the build order advantage here. He will have the ability to cancel this hatchery flawlessly and proceed to harass the drones.
Yeah.
Not going for any gas, though, so he will not be completely all in. He will not be taking that free win as he could have.
Solar going for 2 drones beyond even, and a gas before spawning pool.
Yep. Well, you know what? Considering it isn't a temple bailing, he can get away with this build. He can get away with it with taking kind of minimal damage compared to what it would be if it was temple bane. Like, that means you're even more dead if you're going two drones into gas and then a pool. Like, everything is just so late. But at the very, very least, Solar's hatchery is going to be cancelled. There's no defending that whatsoever.
So, Moonglade, jump in here. What do you do? The Overlord spots the 6-lings coming. He knows this is a 10 pool. What do you do? How do you recover?
Well, you go, oh crap, I hope it's not a gas temple for starters, but he knows he's going to have to cancel this, so he's kind of preparing beyond that. And we do see, actually, Jaedong.
Kind of late gas being added.
Late gas, obviously not going to be anything to do with this kind of build. It looks like he's going to go into a fast speed from this, which is going to give him control of the map and kind of give him the ability to cancel the natural hatchery once again once speed is finished.
Lets the hatch finish. Now, this is interesting. I was going to ask you about that. That, of course, buys him more time in main, so he's going to lose no mining timer drones, but he loses the hatch.
He loses the hatch, 100% guaranteed. A bit surprising he didn't cancel it, actually. I mean, I guess it does buy him a little bit.
You're against that move. You don't like it.
No, I mean, you wait until the last second and you cancel it. I mean, it didn't stay alive for that much longer after it finished, so I feel like it was a bit of a waste here. Obviously, I'm guessing if it wasn't a mistake, he just wanted it to kind of like buy as much time as he could for his Zergs to get out and for him to take no drone damage whatsoever.
Going after some harvesters here.
Jaedong actually doing some pretty nice some micro here and trying to trade as much as he can with these drones, actually getting a couple as well. And at the very least, pulling them off the line, and he's still keeping a lot of his Zerglings alive.
Yeah, he really is. Even taking an angle over there, actually, that might have been a bit of a more questionable choice. He's going to lose all these Zerglings.
Oh, he got another one.
Does get a drone there, though.
3 drones died for that.
And with it, he's ahead in harvesters, actually, just by a couple.
Ahead in speed timing. Oh, maybe just a little bit behind, actually.
A little bit behind.
A little bit behind, but still going to have it out in comparable time. And his natural is going to be up faster. So very, very nicely done from Jaedong.
He's got 2 queens over here, too. They're going to come over. But actually kind of a bit of a reset. If you'll notice, the supply is equal. Jaedong's going to have to switch over to making more Zerglings. Baneling Nest behind this for Solar.
Yeah.
So he's looking to return fire. And actually, Jaedong's making no... Okay, no. Okay, there's the Zerglings. Yes.
Yeah, he will have to for sure. He's going to be in huge amount of trouble from this counterattack. He cannot let that natural go. And I don't think he will. Not with the queens there. No. Zergling speed is almost finished for Solar. He's going to probably look for a surround on the queens if he can get it, but there's Zerglings behind it, so he will not be able to make anything happen whatsoever.
Yeah, kind of interesting. He's actually droning up right now, getting his own natural going. Of course, there could be a swell of Zerglings to come out behind, but right now, in a defensive, well, let's not call it that just yet, but a Baneling Nest nonetheless for Jaedong as well behind this.
Considerably later, though. I mean, Solar's going to have a great window to actually do some Baneling aggression here, which could actually end Jaedong because his Baneling Nest is just so far behind.
Well, one thing that goes against that, though, is that Jaedong's the one out on the map with the Lings. I agree with you. If he was back at home and the Banelings would be able to be more on his side of the map.
Yep.
But as it is, these Banelings are going to have to walk all the way across the map. There's none over here.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jaedong, he actually has a chance to cancel this hatchery once again. I mean, these Banelings are going to morph very, very soon, but he's going to get a great trade on these Zerglings and Queen, taking them all down except 4 or so. He's got a micro perfectly. If he can trigger this one, I think he can actually get the hatchery.
Oh, that's GG. I mean, if he gets the hatchery again, there's almost no coming back from that. 2 Banelings being morphed in for Jaedong as well. These are off to the left side of the aggression. A lot of Zerglings coming out behind it, and even a couple of drones for our blue Zerg. He's got confidence that he's going to hold this. That's interesting.
That is really, really surprising. I think he's actually in a huge amount of trouble here.
He's in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, just really underestimating how much damage how aggressive Jaedong was being. I mean, sure, he had the advantage with Banelings, but he didn't get the Baneling connections. He actually wasted his very last Baneling on one Zergling. A huge micro mistake here. And I think Jaedong barreling down here.
Yeah, he's coming in.
We have 2 Banes, 2 more making. He has a chance to cancel this. Oh!
Another light connection. Another.
Oh, what is going on with Solar?
I'm not sure he understands.
That is not cost
What
efficient,
excuse
Solar.
do we make? Yeah, okay, a couple of Banelings are going to come out here. Oh, a huge connection.
Every single
That's
Zergling.
the one that makes up for it. 2 Banelings making their way to the middle line.
He's not patient.
No, and he gets a bunch of drones.
9.
12 in total have been killed, 9 with that burst, and that might have been... Yeah, GG is called out. Solar says, I want no more of this business.
He fell apart completely,
Very strange.
I've never seen so many Baneling hits on like 1 or 2 Zerglings from like a Korean at this level. This is not something very uncharacteristic. He must have been really flustered with how this game was going. And well, Jaedong with such a...
I think I'm the only reason that Hero advanced was I doubted him each time, and then he just rose above my idiocy, apparently. All right, let's introduce these guys. They've put on a pretty good show in a Microfest. Well, Jaedong gave a Microfest. Unfortunately, Solar kind of fell behind. In the, well, let's call it the 5 o'clock position, the Red Zerg leading 1-0. It's Evil Geniuses Jaedong.
The platypus.
The platypus. I hope that sticks. I don't know, what sound does a platypus make? Like a duck sound, right?
Yeah, well, they pretty much got a beak like a duck, so let's say it sounds... Here at the top, in the 12:30 position, it is the drop bear. It is Samsung Solar.
Freaking love drop
Look at him.
No,
hiding in that tree, just waiting for Jaedong to make his move.
Just looking to drop down on him. And I'll tell you what, Jaedong droning up to 13 supply right now. We're getting closer to that typical number 15. Will it be hatch? Will it be spawning pool? Because this is not even... Was that a 9 pool? It looked like it was like an 8 pool.
That is a... I'm going to say it's a 9 pool.
I think it was.
I'm going to say it's a 9 pool, but I wasn't keeping the closest of attention. Either way, it's early enough to cancel a hatch first. That's exactly what we're seeing from Jaedong.
Yep, they flipped Aruskis on each other.
Yep, and it's going to be gasless. So they're actually doing the exact opposite builds to last game.
Jaedong, let's see if he builds a drone. He does. Going up to 15 supply.
15, 16. Is it going to be gas or is it going to be pool? I think it's going to be pool at this rate.
Let's see. Now, the Zerglings are about to be spotted. That's one advantage for Jaedong in this situation, is that he sees it much earlier. 4 Zerglings, boom, 6, spawning pool immediately. So Jaedong's in crisis mode. But you had talked about in the match before, it is possible to not only hold this, but come out ahead.
Yep. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, you are going to lose that natural for sure. It's guaranteed. Hopefully, Jaedong cancels it and doesn't just let it die at the last second. I feel like that was a misplay right there. And from there, it's kind of just up to Jaedong to micro his drones perfectly, avoid any drone damage.
It. Wow.
He's going to let it... I mean, he can kind of harass for now.
Goes to the spawning pool.
There's actually... one of the interesting things on this map especially is there's no little nook for the drones to kind of hide in, as you would see on other maps, like a little triangle. Okay. So the drones actually have to be aggressive. They have to fight because these Zerglings are going to want to trade with them, which is it's a great map to kind of get this build advantage on.
Well, gosh, Jaedong's kind of winning a lot of time here. One drone did die immediately. Actually, kind of poor micro from Jaedong, to be honest.
See, this is not good. This is going to take a lot of damage here, and there's nothing he can really do about it. He cannot fight this many Zerglings. He's going to have to wait until Jaedong's Zerglings actually have come out here. And oh my god, this is actually too much damage.
Well, yeah, he's lost 1 drone.
He might
a lot of lings, though.
Yeah, it looks like he's actually going to go trade here. He's going to try and surround the Zerglings. Oh, he gets a lot of them.
Decent hold.
This is actually really good for Jaedong.
He only lost 1 drone there. In addition to the other one he lost. He has 2 in total and 1 at the beginning, so 3 overall.
That's actually really impressive considering how much he had to run around.
He's ahead 2 drones.
Wow.
And he has a natural.
Really, really impressive there.
Did he just do that?
Did he just... He just did that.
He
just done that, and I don't know how, but he avoided taking so many drones. A really impressive micro there.
No gas behind this, by the way, for Solar, so I don't even look at that and say, well, okay, Solar's going to have speed for map control.
No, not at all.
He's just kind of behind.
They're both essentially going for gasless builds, so most likely going to go into that Roach phase in the mid-game here. None of this early Zergling, Baneling shenanigans, none of this Mutas play. Going to be a straight-up Roach war, which I like to see now and then, you know. It's a very straight-up sort of game.
Well, I keep staying behind, and it's gonna seesaw back and forth. Jaedong's building a spine crawler, but I don't know that Solar's that far behind. In fact, he's ahead in Harvesters right this instant.
Quite convincingly, actually.
Yeah, 5 drones. There was an extra queen or 2 for Jaedong. He had the faster natural. So it's kind of going back and forth, but it's definitely close. It's like a reset.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird sort of situation. The one thing, the reason we do see that spike roll is because Jaedong has no idea if he went gas after this or not. To his disadvantage, he did not. So he's preparing for something that's not going to be coming. He made extra queens, which he did not need. He only needed 2 queens, essentially. Right. So a bit of an unfortunate situation for Jaedong here. And Solar, I'm sure, is going to take full advantage of this, especially once he sees the spine and the queens. He's going to be like, okay, do you think I've gone gas?
Yeah.
Actually, I've gone completely greedy.
Yeah, interesting. And that's almost the mind games playing back. I mean, Solar was down 0-1, had the guts to say, well, I'm going to go with a 9 pool in game 2. It didn't quite pay off, so a lot of players would tilt and just go for the mega all-in, speed behind it, and then like a Ling follow-up. And Jaedong, he's been making a career of defending against kind of those kind of attacks, and it didn't come. So in the end, we see a 12 supply advantage for Solar. We see that he's now up 11 drones. So Moonglade, you were dead on talking about kind of the echo effect of that. The extra queens and the spine crawler means that not only is he behind 5 harvesters, but it goes on. It becomes worse exponentially.
The one thing we could have seen Solar take it even further is he put down his third base around this time. Like, if he actually played on the fact that Jaedong is just being hyper defensive, like throw down the third hatch, pretend that you have that map control, pretend you got speed coming, and the fact that Jaedong is playing so defensively, he could get even further ahead if he wanted to. But he doesn't have to because he's already in such a lead. And getting that +1 ranged attack.
Everything's faster for him. I mean, layers faster, +1 range attack is going there. Jaedong will still walled in, so he's still not quite sure if a massive Ling all-in is coming or not. Lings are going to slide around here for the first time, and they're going to look to get information. He sees a drone leave, so he knows that that's going to be what would have been a third base attempt.
That's right.
Shouldn't get the drone.
He's got to be actually careful here. He can go down to this many Zerglings. Doesn't want to get surrounded. Does get surrounded, and I think he's going to go down. Yeah. Free queen, free drone. A little bit of a mismicro there from Solar.
And great scout.
Yeah, he's going to see everything. He's actually going to go for enough more drones. And he's going to get one.
Doesn't get up in the main, though, so drone instead of main scout. And doesn't see the roaches popping out, so it's not all the end of the world for Solar. Seeing that lair, seeing the roaches pop out, that would be devastating. That's all-encompassing information. Getting the extra drones nice.
I mean, you still see the evolution chamber shaking. You still see the roach war, and you go, okay, he's upgrading roaches. So it's going to be that center game. He didn't go for the Zergling speed. So full on me for being so defensive.
And I'll tell you, that third does go down for Solar. Jaedong has a drone in position to try to do the same, but he doesn't have the roaches that are already starting to come out. He's starting to make them, so they're fairly equal that way. But Solar's just ahead. He's got the slightly faster +1 time range attack, so that's not really where we look for the advantage, but he has this speed upgrade well ahead of Jaedong. Jaedong hasn't even finished his layer yet.
I think we can definitely see a lot of aggression come from Solar because of this. I mean, we just saw Solar come in with the Overseer. He sees that the layer is still upgrading. He's like, whoa, I have such a window to do some roach with speed aggression. But at the same time, we see Jaedong making a lot of roaches. He knows he has to be defensive at this point. He knows he has to get a lot of roaches out so he can defend his third base. Because if he loses his third base at this sort of time, he will 100% lose the game, no matter what. There's simply no way you can come back from that. And
here comes Solar. He knows that is what is at stake here. He's going to apply the pressure. The Spine Crawler comes down for a low ground anchor. A nice move. These queens have a lot of energy, by the way. That's really cool. You don't need a super huge number of creep tumors, so having these transfuses available makes your roaches all that much more survivable. Supply gap has closed up. Of course, the proverbial beehive that is Jaedong has been kicked, and you can see here it was kind of a posturing thing. Solar backs up, having made drones behind this. Jaedong, meanwhile, had to get out as many roaches as he possibly could because he didn't know if his life was on the line or not.
Absolutely, and I mean, look how many drones we have at the third base of Solar. This is such a commanding position. He actually only needs to make roaches from this point onwards. He doesn't have to make anything else. Just roaches, 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 and go for a timing attack that is clearly going to have an advantage over what Jaedong has in terms of economy and production and upgrades.
Jaedong's leaning out to try to get the same kind of reaction as Solar, but as you said, Solar is in a simple position right now. He has that speed upgrade faster as well. Jaedong's going to lose 3 roaches possibly. Yes, 3 roaches for the cost of not having that upgrade completed. He was just simply trying to get him to stop making only drones, I suppose. Little did he know that Solar's far enough ahead to get that. Meanwhile, it's worth noting, Solar has the Carapace upgrade going quite a bit ahead of Jaedong as well. But even as I said that, I didn't notice he actually added the second Evo. It's like 20 seconds behind. So.
Yeah, small little windows there. I mean, it's going to come down to contaminates from the overseas. If we see Solar or JD throw down a critical contaminate onto, more than anything else, a +2 attack upgrade, it can open up huge timings of attacks. Where obviously +2 attack does a great deal more than +1 attacks and can really favor the battle.
I was going to say he made, well, to finish my thought, I thought he made a lot more oversteers, but he actually only made the 2. They're in position to maybe go at those upgrades, but I'm going to break away from that. We actually have the Baneling nest. Now talk to me about Roach Baneling. Is that...
Roach Baneling.
You know, is that... How
great
good is
combination, mostly used for against Hydra Roach. It's usually it's one of the great counters to Hydra Roach if you can get good connections. I mean, even if you connect on mass amounts of Roach, it's still cost efficient. And we saw a great contaminate on that +2 attack, which is definitely going to slow down anything Solar had planned. But still, I'm pretty sure it will finish it around the same time at the very least. And Solar still has a great supply lead in terms of Roaches.
Yeah, 20 supply. Both players are in that simple place now. Well, I mean, as I say that, Jaedong actually adds 3 more drones.
Solar, looks like Solar's going to just gear up for this Baneling assault. He's going to go for it no matter what. And it can do a lot of work, even if it's Roach versus Roach. It forces the opponent that's defending against these Banelings to go out of position, break his concave, split his Roaches up, and it's going to give Solar the great advantage in terms of positioning, and could very well win him the game if he's the aggressor. Because if you're doing it in the opponent's base, like there's nowhere to run. It's going to connect with drones, it's going to connect with everything else, so it can end the game right here and there.
Second contaminate on that upgrade actually just now
frees up. Look how
many
many Banelings.
40 Banelings.
40 Banelings. Luckily for Jaedong, he's moving out in the map though. He is going for the aggression. These Banelings have only just started morphing here, so this could be Jaedong's window, but I don't know.
He sees him, so he knows. I mean, whatever he's going to do.
If he was to trade, it would be over here.
He's trying to buy time. He has a the pathogen glands being upgraded behind this. If he can get a fungal on the Banelings that now don't exist, that'd be great. But this is a fight that Jaedong was just trying to simply win time with. He's actually behind in supply by a solid 20 or so, and a lot of his roaches are weak here.
He cannot attack this. He should be retreating and trying to remax as best he can. Taking this fight head-on is only going to mean the end of him, essentially. There's simply not enough DPS there. His roaches already took too much damage from the Banelings. His best bet was to kind of soak up as much Banelings as he can, remax while he went home.
Oh, Jaedong. He's making infestors behind this. He doesn't understand. I mean, this is, I was going to say, if Solar just pushes on, he's maxed out, so there's nowhere else for him to go. I don't know why he's backing up.
Yeah, looks like he's just going to
These infestors won't do anything for this cost. He's down 50 supply.
Yeah.
He spent all his money on this gas. He couldn't remax anyway, so I guess this is his best bet. At the end of the day, you're right. When he stood around and fought for a little bit too long, that's where he lost this game.
Yeah, there was no point in trying to trade at that point because he was always going to take the bad trade. He already had completely damaged roaches. And from here, there's simply no amount of resources to remax like he should have. And GG, very nicely done from Solar. The drop bear, taking that game very convincingly.
Comes out of the canopy and pounces. Really, he was ahead all game long. It's amazing the effect just the openings had, because it's not like we saw a critical. I mean, we looked at it, and the fantastic DreamHack show is going to start up after the series. There's probably, just prepare yourselves for this. There's going to be a little bit of a downtime. I know that Hearthstone still has to wrap up. We got to set up the stage. But use that time to go wake up everybody, tweet about it, get the hashtag DHOpen out there.
Hashtag Road to BlizzCon.
Road to BlizzCon. You got to follow all of us on Twitter.
Oh, absolutely.
You got to learn about drop bears. I know that's something that a lot of you are hearing for the first time. But okay, let's get into this. It's game number 3, and these are our combatants in the top left-hand side, splitting the map. It's the Red Zerg Evil Geniuses Jaedong.
Indeed it is. Looking good. And in the bottom right, we have the player tying things up 1-1. It is Samsung Solar. Playing a very solid last game. Very young player. Very charismatic.
Yeah.
Big fan of him.
He's a father hen amongst those Koreans.
Father hen. I've never heard that term before, but...
It might supposed to be mother hen. I'm not sure. I think, I've never been diagnosed, but I think I have like a small... I don't know what you would call it. It's a form of dyslexia where I take sayings and I butcher the ever-living crap out of them. I mutilate them, I combine them, I hybrid them. Some people find it endearing. Thankfully, my wife does. But for me, it's frustrating because I'd like to be that guy that has all his cool zingers, but I don't. I just have a bunch of mutants.
No, you're doing fine, man.
Like Professor X of sayings.
I like it a lot, actually.
Oh, thank you.
No.
Appreciate that. It's been a pleasure casting with you.
You too, mate. First time.
You don't have to lie. But
no, actually, I'm having a great time in Control.
Very good.
And it hasn't ended just yet.
Good. And as we can see here, we kind of talked about this. Both players got their aggression out of the way. This is a big map, so we see Hatch first, and then we see, well, it looks like Solar's going to be the guy that draws first. He's going to go pool before gas, so he's not as greedy as
yeah.
Wow.
Both of them kind of doing very, very similar. They're going to have, well, no gas for Solar, sorry. So no gas just yet for Solar, but Jaedong going for gas. So he's going to have that speedling on the map. He's going to have the potential to be aggressive. Potential to cancel that third base and take his very, very early on. It's going to come down to scouting, though. I mean, if Jaedong can find out Solar is going for that gasless kind of build, he's going to like, oh, okay. So I have a huge window to take my third base, to take map control, and then go into a much more solid economy and roaches and whatnot. You
know, playing a little bit of devil's advocate, though, to your point, on a lot of maps, I feel like what you said is especially true, but on this map, you know, the natural kind of gives way to that third above that big ramp. And no, sim-sitting that ramp's not super possible, but you can kind of narrow it down, and with a few queens, you can kind of mitigate the cost, or the risk, rather, of otherwise going that gas is opening, right?
Yeah.
No, that's pretty good for
it. Very, very true.
On those other maps, when you take that third, it exposes you to Lings running into the natural, into the main, or even at the third itself.
Yeah, actually, you know what? I was thinking about a different map when I was talking, and this the natural here is actually really wide open too, so it's going to favor Speedlings as well. I don't know what I was thinking about. I think Foxtrot is similar as well, but...
Well, you're learning DreamHack's a grind, man. It's so fun.
It's a grind, you know.
We cast so many games, and then at the end of the day, half of what we say makes sense. My predictions become even worse. I'm usually like 50-50, but it becomes like 30-70.
Yeah, I mean, Jaedong definitely has a window to do some damage with Speedlings as well.
He's that scout you're calling for. Yeah, he needs to go in there. Two queens will stop it, though, right?
Potentially. I mean, I think the second one's going to get in just unless he's going to stop it. Ed stops it. So. Nope. He's not going to find out that there's going to be speed, but on the other hand, Solar, he turns around.
What a nice guy, though.
He's like,
he doesn't want to have an advantage.
Like, let's have a fair game,
exactly.
mate. Let's have a fair game. I'm not going to show you, and you're not going to show me.
I like that.
So
it's very drop bear of him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, it's true. He'd rather wait. He doesn't want to give it away for free. He's going to wait for that drop.
Thank God you guys have drop bears. Can you imagine if like a Montana brown bear grizzly was a drop bear, like a 1,200-pound bear dropping out of a tree? It has to be a cute, cuddly, clawed koala bear that does it.
Yeah.
It can't be a brown bear.
Yeah.
It's not funny. A polar bear coming out of an igloo or something like that? No, that's not okay.
That'd be scary. And we see Solar making that nice sim city there. So he's going to stop things from scouting any further, but I mean, he gives away what his plans are. He's going to go for that roach stack. He's going to go for that.
Jaedong with a faster third hatch, actually.
Exactly. And this is the kind of confidence you get with a very early pool, very early speed. So you're like, okay. Very early gas, so he has the potential to get very early speedlings, though he has shown that Zergling speed hasn't been upgraded after all. Instead, going to be very greedy, take that very fast lair.
There's the lair. There's the lair, and Jaedong's is approaching 50%, so it's within the ballpark.
I mean, Solar has the potential to do mass Zerglings, and he is doing mass Zerglings. He is going for that Zergling speed. Behind everything, I mean, he did show the roaches at the front. He's like, yeah, you know, I'm going for the roach tech, but wait, I've secretly been upgrading Zergling speed. And from here, I mean, what do we have for Jaedong? He's not making much at all. He's only just started his roach war, and this is actually absolutely horrible, and we can see the game end in any second here because no Zerglings, no Zergling speed, no Bailing Nest, no roaches. There is nothing but pure greed for Jaedong, and Jaedong's not going to find out until the Zerglings are halfway through the map.
Not even an Overlord.
Not even an Overlord.
Just now he finds out. There it is. Uh-oh. Defending the third is an impossibility. Immediately packs up and goes to the natural. This is the right choice. If he has a chance of holding this off, it'll only be because of this. But there's a hole on the right side. He didn't SimCity this correctly. The Zerglings can get in.
He doesn't run around the side, though. He needs to run around the side, and he does. And from here...
Oh, my gosh. He could lose on a huge mistake to miss SimCity and die. The two queens go down. The Zerglings are spilling in. They're at the drones, and Jaedong taps out. GG is called. Solar capitalizes on a fatal mistake.
Fatal mistake and pure greed.
Yeah.
Pure greed from Jaedong. He doesn't get greedier than that. Skipping Zergling speed. Very, very late Roach Warren. Very, very fast third base.